the Screaming Goat groupies now.
Yeah, we did find a song by the Screaming Goat, or a song called Screaming Goats Groupies by somebody else.
Okay.
So, Mike, you have Screaming Goat Groupies to look forward to.
That might.
That Mike. Oh, that Mike. Hey, are you on the
Mike. Sorry.
I saw tornado watches trending on Twitter. Is that you guys, Mike?
Yeah, it's up actually up in your old stomping grounds in Benton County.
Oh, really? Oof.
Yep. Not so much around here, although we are supposed to get a lot of rain.
Yeah, I just pulled up a map. Yeah, it's right up in Benton County. Yeah. Interesting. Tornadoes in February, man. I don't know which is worse.
Here.
Catalina wine mixer or tornadoes in Indiana?
Oh.
So what are we drinking tonight?
Good
Anything?
point. Right back. Water.
Water.
Same thing. I'm always drinking little
Imperial IPA. That's good.
little Voodoo Ranger.
Yeah. But I gave up alcohol for Lent, so I'm on the water wagon.
Not a
Nice. Nice.
You would think that would be something you would tell your wife.
Fun. You ever give me alcohol?
Only when you send me to the store.
That's right.
I'm glad we finally got a chance to actually play. I think it's been over a month, hasn't it?
It's been a good long while.
It's been pretty rough.
No idea. Actually, I was thinking about that today. I wasn't certain when we played, but I sure as hell don't remember what we did.
We were in a transition time.
Yeah.
We were traveling.
We were getting all the things that we needed, like the chainmail, the shirt that I got. Yay!
Right. Exactly.
Armor for bubbles.
That's right.
Well, here's my problem. We got heart attack victim Glenn, heart attack victim Russ. I'm not going to have a heart attack. I've already made up my mind. I'm going to go roll in the ditch. You know, fucking Pav was over here doing double colonoscopies with his wife.
Wait, what?
I never go to the doctor, so I never get sick.
See, I knew I could teach you my philosophy.
Mike has it figured out. Mike and Ed both be like, no, ain't going.
Damn Skippy.
Because they'll find something bad and, yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I yesterday I had a really bad cold, took a day off, went back to work today.
Nice.
If all those fuckers get COVID, it's not my fault. So
Okay. Alrighty. Well, we're actually live, so this is good. So, greetings, one and all. Welcome to the Mystic Syndicate. I'm your host, Brian, and tonight we delve into Dungeons Deep and Caverns Old. And once again, we roll the dice, fight the horde, and let's flip the dogs of war, for Dungeons & Dragons is the game, and we are merely players on its fantasy stage. As always, I'm your Dungeon Master, and we are fortunate to have our friends from the Drunkards and Dragons ready for whatever fate has in store. We start with introductions, and ladies go first.
Melinda, I play Rena Babbleboots, a Gnomon Ranger Artificer, and she has a ward named Bubbles.
Cool.
Hi, I am Mike. I play Kiffy Blackhammer, a Dwarven Cleric of Fortuo.
Hello, I am Pav, and I am playing Kelix Zelenin, a Paladin of Erroneous.
Did you
is that
say
erroneous? I thought so too.
Erroneous. I'm Russ. I'm playing Jarngrimr Tolfanamather Halderson, a fire mage who is very pleased because he figured out a new spell.
I'm Ed. I play Squire Tomas Waverly, fighter bard.
I am Glenn. I'm a painter.
Okay.
Artiste. Timbal Snibbenblaven. Gnome.
No. Yeah, it was probably a good way to end it off. All right, yeah, but welcome back, everybody. And so, like I said, it has been been almost a month, I think, since the last time. But I'm glad to see everybody is here. Last time we were getting ready to play, we had one of I think it was Russ who ended up having a medical emergency, unfortunately. And but he's here, so that makes it even better. So it was unfortunate that we couldn't play that night, but it was completely understandable why he could not make it. So yeah, hopefully this evening we'll get into some interesting gameplay. Earlier we tried to do a little bit of experimenting with Roll20's audio and video integration, and it failed miserably. So here we are. We're back on Discord doing the Discord thing, which is fine. I mean, that's not a big deal. But I was kind of hoping that it would have worked, but no, it was a bust completely. So I know, right? You would think they would have the technology pretty much down pat now. It's been over 10 years? I don't get it. I mean, Roll20's been around a while, so I think I got my membership with them was like in 2012. So it's like, yeah, I mean, come on.
Put some money into it, bitches.
I know. I mean, I donate every month. Well, I donate. I pay for the subscription and kind of think that my money would be going somewhere. Obviously into the pockets of some corporate person. I don't know. I don't want to get thrown off the... I'm not going to pull an Ed and get thrown off of every social media page.
Every time I try, I fail.
I don't know. You've gotten really, really good at getting yourself kicked off of different X accounts, but right now you're just seeming to drop the ball when it comes to what was it, the children's television workshop? You just can't seem to.
Yes, I can't bust them out. So guys, everybody out there, complain to children's television workshop. Tweet at Bert, Ernie, Big Bird, all those fuckers. I mean, they're disgusting, and help me get kicked off of Twitter with them.
Yeah,
or at least blocked.
I mean, come on, help Ed out. I mean, he's got a goal, he's got a mission,
and in fact, if you guys help me get blocked by all of them, Brian's gonna let us fight a dragon turtle.
Yeah, that would be fun. Yeah, if you can get Ed. And everybody else is like going, what? Why would we do that?
And you can mess with Bert and Ernie, but you leave the count alone. Don't mess with my count.
Uh-oh. That sounded like a challenge.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. That kind of count?
Yeah. Count. 1. 2.
The count he likes to.
That was the man
he likes to stuff in a Crisco.
Oh God! Alrighty,
and down that road we go. Anyway.
Okay, yeah, and so down the road we go as we. So let me bring you back to speed. You had traveled to the city of Greyhawk, where you had provisioned and yourself and with getting some specialized items for your trip to the capital city of Celene, which is called Enstad. And the reason you were going to Celene is to see if there's any way you can broker some sort of a peace between both Queen Yolanda of Celene and Queen Zan of the Vesvi Forest, who are related. They are cousins, but there has been some bad blood between them. And so you are the ones who are going to try to, who have been asked by your regent, or the Margrave of Bissell, who you all are helping, trying to overcome this unbelievable the scourge which has befallen them, the Ket, and now they're allies from the Empire of Zyph. So it's getting a little dicey for Bissell, and at this point in time, this is something that is very, very important to both those who are leaders of Bissell and also yourselves. But of course, two of you are actually decorated heroes, war veterans, and you have at least one person who is a personal. A person, more like a personal envoy of Queen or Lady Ilia, the female counterpart of the Margrave. So I've created a nice little map. I did not create the map, but our special friend Anna B. Meyer, who is a wonderful cartographer of the fantasy realm of Greyhawk. I created this. I stole it. I did actually have her permission. I did write her and say, hey, is it cool if we use your maps? So make sure, if you want to check out Anna B. Meyer, go over to annabmeyer.com. Check out all of her beautiful maps and other things that she creates. Also, check out her Twitch channel. I think it's just Anna B. Meyer over on Twitch. And she sometimes does really interesting videos on cartography and the kind of historical aspect of the Greyhawk realm. It's really, really cool. So I'm going to share that map with all of you. And we can actually bring this up and make it big. And so we're going to go ahead and kind of jet forward. You are on the ship. You are heading down this river area here over by One Ford. You go past Two Ford and then you go to One Ford. And I believe from One Ford you all were going to actually disembark from there and then make your way to places west along this road. Let's see if I can make this a little bit easier for everybody. It won't let me... oh, well, that's okay. But you can see directly west of One Ford. Everybody see that? Everybody good? On the map?
You resend the map. I accidentally clicked out of it.
Ah, okay, sure. I can show you.
Well, I was trying to zoom it, so yeah. Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, so you're gonna, so from One Ford, you'll go through Flandish and to Narwell, and once you're at Narwell, you're going to actually cross over into Celene. Probably the best and easiest way to do that will be through Dunmarsh, going through northern Celene to Humming's End, and then finally down to Enstad, which is on the complete west side of the map. This is going to take some time. But the beautiful thing about this is that I'm not going to make you all slug through like days and days and days and days of senseless travel. But once you actually get past Dunmarsh and into the actual countryside, the northern countryside of Celene, right at the border, of course, you are stopped by Elvish sort of border patrol, and they of course look over your carts and you specifically, and ask for your documentation and why are you actually in or traveling to the fairy kingdom of Celene.
I think Kellex has the documents, right? If I remember
Yes, Kellex has the documents.
Yeah, okay. So Kellex, approaches them and then hands over, say we are here on business, and hands him the scroll.
Okay, so they take the scroll and they take a look at it and see that the different seals and things look like they are completely legitimate. And so after a couple of minutes of talking amongst themselves in Elvish, don't know how many of you all speak Elvish, but hopefully some of you might. Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you all can actually hear them talking, and it doesn't seem like they're they're not very concerned. It looks as though you all have definitely the proper paperwork, and being that Kellex was the one who produced it and gave it to them, they kind of recognize his rank and station, and so they've definitely given him deference in that regard. And so with that, they allow you to pass. They hand you your documents back to you, and they quickly raise this arm bar thing that is over the road. It's just a very kind of rudimentary wooden structure that they lift up, and you all pass under it. Once you get...
I was going to ask, does the Hogan's Heroes theme song play when it lifts up and we drive?
You guys are looking for stumps to climb down in to get into the barracks.
Get into the schlag.
I'm assuming are we traveling by foot, horse, or cart?
Horses. You guys are actually traveling on horseback. So you proceed further down this road, closer and closer to the Celene, and by the time you start to notice a major difference in the terrain. Where before it was kind of open land, now you're getting to actually deeper, like a deep forested region. Very indicative of an elvish kingdom. And so you can definitely see a major difference in like I said, the rolling plains of Bissell, or even Greyhawk. This is definitely a darker forest, and I need everyone to make a perception check for me.
Oh man,
there we go.
If it's the dragon turtle, I already rolled it.
Okay, it's not the dragon turtle. Okay. Alrighty. Very, very good. Okay, so let me see. Wisdom. Okay, so I got perception 12, perception tumble. Oh, okay, cool. So, who am I missing? Grenna. Oh, she's Grenna. Dang. Grenna's over there killing it. Okay, so Timble and Grenna. This is actually very fitting. So as you all are riding along, you believe what you hear is chanting. It seems to be coming from one specific voice off in the woods.
Does it sound like a fey creature that's going to curse us?
No, it actually it does not sound like a fey creature, but it is definitely the language is Elvish. And you can...
What was it again we heard, Brian?
It's chanting. Chanting.
What are they saying?
Yeah, so...
Mr. Timble, what else? I think I must go and see if they're naked. Naked chanting.
Okay. So, not the naked chanting. Yeah, so as you get closer and closer, you're actually approaching the sound. You see, not just off the road, there is a set of 3 stones, probably each about 10 feet tall. In the center is a fire that looks as though it is more kind of like a very small bonfire, not a campfire. It looks definitely of a fire with some sort of purpose. And both...
Lost your voice, Brian.
Did I? Oh, am I gone? No?
I can hear you.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, great. So what you find...
Hello.
I'm sorry? Okay.
I can hear you too.
Oh, okay, good. So, does everybody can hear me, or is it totally shot? I mean...
No, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay. So,
You're
am I kind of falling off? I can always turn it up if I
Yeah.
have to. Okay. So,
no worse than me at 3 a.m.
okay. So, yes. So, Timble and Grenna, you also notice that surrounding these three stones with this fire is a ring of toadstools.
Hmm.
Yeah. Every so often, you see as this person kind of weaves in and out between these large stones. You see a man wearing a hooded robe. He's carrying a gnarled wooden staff that looks to have mistletoe kind of attached to the head of it. And every once in a while, you see a small woodland creature kind of dart around these stones. And as you're kind of taking this in, first you see something like chipmunks, but then other creatures start kind of showing up. Larger creatures, like you end up having like badgers and some, and then eventually a large deer, a stag, appears outside of this circle. And it's just very, very interesting to watch. And as you were listening to him in Elvish, he is calling out to obviously some sort of fey creature to grant him a favor. Interesting. So, is there anything you want to do, or are you going to try to pass quietly?
Would I think this is a religious observance?
It looks very much so.
Hmm.
I'm going to pull some drawing materials out of my pack.
Okay.
I start sketching some of the animals that are coming in, putting them to memory.
Okay.
The great heart when they came in, all of that, and the kind of drawing up the scene. Toadstools, the man thankfully clothed, calling out and singing.
Yes. Okay, good.
Are there no other humanoids around?
No, there are no other humanoids. He just seems to be the only humanoid there. And so, yes, and every so often as he punctuates and some of his elvish words, the fire seems to get brighter and taller. So it's kind of as though he is obviously having some sort of effect upon it, or there is something that is having some sort of effect upon it, but it may or may not
And
be
he's
him.
calling something. Knowing Elvish, do I know or recognize anything specific?
What he's really asking for is he's asking for a fey spirit to grant him a favor. So whatever fey spirit answers him may come in the guise of, it may just be it may be a fairy. It could be some other fey creature. It could be, even worst case scenario, an archfey, which would be very rare. But
Yeah,
depending
I'm
on
not fond of those.
yeah, but depending on who this guy is and how much power he has, he might be able to pull some definite fey energies from the Feywild itself.
Does he have the angular features of his face? Do they look elvish or human? His size? Something else?
The hood that he's wearing over his head kind of obscures his looks.
Okay, I'm feeling kind of peevish, but I'm going to roll a wisdom and see if it's below 10. I'm going to fuck with him.
Okay.
Well,
Okay, well, look at that.
I guess I'll get out there and I go, sir, hold that pose. It's beautiful. It's great. It's fantastic. Here, let me catch it.
Okay, so
Pull that,
as
pull that
soon
hood
as
down. Let's see that glorious face.
okay,
I want to
so
capture this moment.
as soon as you say that, it's like the entire little glade area that he's standing in just freezes. And he just turns very, very slowly to look at you. And as he does so,
I'm stitching curiously.
When they all stop moving, I say, "Quick, draw faster."
and as you say, draw faster, you see all the woodland creatures just immediate. It's like an explosion of motion, and they all just fade quickly back into the woods. You can hear the underbrush rustling. You can hear branches breaking, and then you just kind of look as this man just is looking at you. Just puts his hands in his his head in his hands like and you see the fire behind him die down significantly, and he is just like so
Oh, did I do that?
so when you said these things, did you say it in Elvish?
Ooh. He couldn't have. I don't speak Elvish, and I responded to it.
Right.
Yep.
You didn't, but did Timble?
Yep.
Okay.
No. When Timble said it, he said it. I'm assuming it's English because I understood him. So I'm like, "Oh, Pete, draw faster," because he told him to stop.
Oh boy. So the man just looks down, just kind of like defeated, and he throws back his hood, and you can see at this time this is an elven gentleman.
I quickly capture his likeness.
Okay. He looks
It's
up
not a caricature, but I'm just getting the right point.
and he says, "How can I help you?"
No, I was kind of hoping you'd stand still. All the animals, everything, the flames. What a moment. It was glorious.
Yes, unfortunately, that was not part of the plan. Motion.
There was a plan?
Yes. Obviously, you are not familiar with the ways of the forest folk. Okay.
Sadly, I really am not.
Obviously.
I'm quite much more comfortable. I don't know. Tea, little whiskey, little fun around the house.
Yes. Well, that's just wonderful for you, I'm sure.
Oh, it's glorious. You have no idea.
Yes. And he looks you all over very quickly, and he says, "Well,
Oh, don't mind the ne'er-do-wells. They're just there. They're nothing. But seriously, what were you doing?
well, actually, I was trying to draw forth a
Draw?
fey spirit, which does take some time. And
Who was it? You think they imposed for me?
they might. I'm not really too
Back
sure.
at it, sir. Back at it. Go.
So it's going to take at least another, probably close to another hour for me to get the fire that high. He said,
I can help.
It's a great place to camp.
He's good with fire.
Actually, I was
he
gonna,
just- he
are they
just-
speaking in Elvish or are they speaking in Common?
They're speaking in Elvish, so no one else could really understand them except Grenna. And Grenna, you have a general idea because as a forest folk, you're thinking, oh no, we just upset something that should not have been upset. This was like not a good thing. Of course, you being
Hope you have a good sacrifice in plan.
being that you are Fey touched, and you kind of knew what he was kind of up to, but as you saw Timble just kind of like walking towards and saying that you just wanted to reach out, but you just couldn't stop him. And you're like,
Oh, I
So you're-
couldn't stop me.
So you're kind of shrinking back away because you're thinking, "Oh man, this guy, you have no idea." But well, yeah, this elven gentleman looks over each of you and says, "It's okay. It's okay. I can do this again. It's not a problem."
But can I get your name, if I may?
Sure, sure. My
Tim
name.
Timble.
Timble. It is so nice of you. I am Bartholomew.
Bartholomew.
Yes.
Very, very good.
Brian?
Name.
Yes,
You have a message
I do.
in
Oh, I'm sorry.
Roll D20.
Okay. Is there a save for that, or is that just a
I don't
thing,
know.
isn't it?
I think it's just a thing.
It's just a thing. So Timble, as you're standing there talking with Bartholomew, all of a sudden you have this very strange taste in your mouth. It's an alien taste to you, but the smell that it accompanies it's like that of cow manure. And you spit it out as best as you can, but unfortunately it just kind of hangs
This
there.
tastes like ass.
Yeah,
I'm going
it's
to look
like
right at a certain fire-wielding guy because I've seen him pull this little trick before. Not exactly this, but with others.
with other people. Yeah.
Do I know roughly what he was trying to call?
You don't know what he was actually. You don't know exactly which spirit, Fey spirit. He was actually just reaching into the Fey Wild to bring forth a spirit that he could converse with and make a deal with, for a favor. The Fey are very much about deals and favors.
Right.
And with that being the case, he obviously has something that either he can offer for a favor or he is looking to return a favor. But you're not really too sure. He was just trying to pull a spirit that he might be able to either manipulate or use in some other way, shape, or form.
Would I know if it would be possible to contact the one that I pissed off through this ring, or do I know if I have to be in her forest, or can I do it from any forest?
Well, most likely you're kind of thinking this is kind of the way these stones are set up. It's kind of like a ley line where using the proper incantations, you could actually open a portal to the Feywild from this location. This is a weak point.
So that's a yes.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Or at
Sorry.
least you think it is a yes.
Please, yeah.
At least I think I could contact her through this portal.
True. Yeah. Or you might be able to actually call forth some sort of fey creature that would be able to deliver a message. But once again, if you're asking them for something...
No, that sounds not like what I want to do.
Yeah.
No,
The-
I'd rather speak directly to the one that I pissed off rather than go through another one that I could possibly piss off. Because, one curse isn't good enough. I don't need two.
Right. Yeah. You don't need to be multiply affected or even burdened with a favor that needs to be repaid. They don't. The Fae in general do not like to do things for free. They want things.
My question would be: do we, as a whole, the rest of the party, know and understand what has gone on and transpired with Grenna?
Yes.
Fully, do we know?
Yeah. You do realize that the curse that has been bestowed is not just for Grenna alone. A lot of times you all have been, actually a few of you have been affected by it and you did not even know it.
We know that shit happens.
particularly in situations where you have been in combat. There have been times where that has came into play and has actually hurt your chances.
Knowing that shit happens, weird things, that's fine. I understand that. I just wasn't certain how much knowledge we had of that Fae fucking with the party, if you will.
I had told you that she had cursed us.
Okay.
The same time I told you that Bubbles can now talk.
All right. I'm going to walk over to Bartholomew.
Yep.
And say, Master Bart, let's talk for a moment. Something came to mind. There's this Fae that kind of doesn't like us. I'd like to correct that. Do you think your little process could straight to her? No, it's a her. It's got boobies, but
It's a her.
He says, do you know the nature of this creature?
I'll look at Grenna and say, she does.
So Grenna, as you kind of step out of the out of the shadows there, and he looks at you a little bit more carefully, and he says, "So, what is this Fae being that you have crossed?"
He's a real bitch. No.
Careful what one says. We're trying to solve this problem.
I upset a princess.
Do you know what a princess of?
No, she wasn't a queen. She was a princess.
She was a princess. Okay.
A princess.
Do you happen to know
Court
the
and
court, or do you know the type? What she is?
Tree dryad.
Oh, a
Dryad?
dryad princess.
You know,
Wow.
you just go for the top there.
Yeah. You didn't.
You would think, being touched by Matt, that I would have a little bit of bull.
Well,
No, I don't say that to him.
Oh, okay. I was thinking you were about ready to slip.
No.
It was about the chat time hearing that's not good.
No.
So he said, so you were tasked with something by a dryad princess, and you refused, or you did not?
I believe there was a request.
I would not know. I did not accept the task because I was not in a position to offer what she wanted, but I am now in a position to offer what she wanted.
But you rebuffed her at the
I told her no,
time.
but she did not like it.
Oh, yes. That is unfortunate that you... most likely, and I shall give you some advice. If given a task of that magnitude by something of that power, most likely you could have probably bargained with her for time instead of just refusing her outright.
Well, I had no idea when I was going to be back in the area, and to give her a time would have put more constraints on my party that were unwarranted and could have led to our demise.
Okay, understandable. I see.
Well, there's a reason for my stupidity, but we'd like to rectify that now.
Right. Well, most likely you are going to need to go, unfortunately, being that this is a dryad princess, you're going to have to take your case actually before the Rose Court.
Take it before a court.
Yes.
That sounds fun.
Couldn't we just talk to her in her grove? Kiss her ever-loving ass and be done with it?
Most likely, you're actually going to have to go and speak with her before the queen herself. This is something probably outside now of being just kissing people's rear or hindquarters, sir. Well, that
you
is
say the Rose Court.
The Rose Court.
How might one get there?
This sounds fun.
Well, let's see. Being that you all are probably the only people I've seen on this road in several days, and while I was kind of hoping that that was going to be something that I would not have to deal with again.
Is this your grove?
This is, yes, this is my grove. This is
It's lovely. It really is.
Yes, this is the part of the forest where I am charged with its protection.
So you're like a warden.
Kind of, but not really in that sort of respect. I, sir, am a druid.
Okay, so you're a steward.
Yes, I watch over the animals and the plants and and all things that are in the forest, and even you, as you traipse through.
That's a pretty cool gig. How does one get that gig?
Oh, well, first you must be trained, and second, then you must be appointed by Queen Yolanda herself.
Very, very cool. So,
Queen who?
yeah, you have ties with that Queen Yolanda?
I have been in her court several times.
Wonderful. Wonderful. I hear there's a bit of trouble about with the Queen. And her cousin, it is?
Unfortunately, it has been some time since I've actually been into any city, so I'm not very sure of the political wranglings of the Queen or her
of
court.
messaging if you were to be looking for anything specific, that sort of thing. I mean, this is your area. If something were to pass through that was untoward, that would be your purview to deal with. I thought maybe they told you that there was perhaps war about.
And actually, politics does not really concern the likes of me. I'm kind of beyond it.
What a blessing it is to be out here alone and not have to deal with that.
Oh, but that's where
Really?
you're wrong. I am not alone. I mean, look what you scared away when you first arrived. I was never alone at any time.
My statement was not of that ilk. It was more out of the way of.
I understand, of course.
Yeah, you were having fun with me.
Yes.
I see what you.
So, you need a favor of me. Is that what I'm
How do we
hearing?
get to the Rose Court? You're right.
That's no problem. And being that it looks as though you all are purpose driven. It doesn't look like you're just wanderers or highwaymen. So I don't want to. I certainly don't want to waste any more of your time, but I can get you to where you need to go. But if you will,
I'll take. Can I say,
of course,
Grinna, a moment, and I'm going to come over and talk with you, whispering. Do we want to take care of the Queen's business first, and then come back here to settle our debts? How do we make priorities?
That's first.
Yeah, the Queen.
There's no telling what this is gonna happen. Your spell could fail, or armor could fail.
Oh, we could be gone 100 years.
Yeah.
We don't know. It's the Feywild. All right.
But it would only be a blink. It'd only be a blink of the eye.
Now, we'll have to work that into the bargain that we must handle this in return.
Well, then I'll let you be the wordsmith. I'll just act real humble. How about that?
Oh, you don't. You don't want me to be the one who's settling that account for you?
Well, honey, I just did a great job the first time around.
I'm happy to handle the negotiation.
You're not part of this discussion. Shh.
Damn it. Fine, I'll put myself on mute.
Let's just say that we will do this together.
Okay.
Keeping both parts in mind, and
But you know what?
allowing-
Before we make a decision, you and I, we all need to make a decision because it's going to affect everybody.
you might be correct in that, but I never think of them. But fine.
Well,
Helix is
I know I
and
got into
that hippie dwarf guy. I like them, but the rest of them, they're suspect.
Yeah, I don't like being lit on fire either.
Yeah, I know. Tired of having to replace singed garments. And
Okay.
every-
All right, so come here,
Let's draw them
everybody.
in.
Everybody, come here.
I'll turn to Bartholomew and say, sir, this is something that affects us all. So if we're going to be bartering and making deals, we must have everyone present and accountable. Do you speak the common tongue?
That's what I was about to ask.
I do.
Okay, they're not so refined that they understand Elvish.
He just
Your
chuckles.
troglodyte.
They're so boorish. But let's see what we have to say. I'll explain everything to everyone.
Okay.
Yes. Very quickly. So
I move that Grenna has to handle all the negotiations with the fake queen on her own.
because I did so good the first time around.
Well,
And it also affects your wee butt. We're all in the grinder. Don't pretend otherwise. Singing, boy.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is something we need to handle together. However, I believe that our first course is to see the deal with our mission first.
I agree with Kellick's time.
We are
is a factor.
time constraint, yeah.
Okay, but moving
I
forward,
do
you
agree
guys
that we
can
need to handle
realize that there's a possibility that things will go very awry quickly because of this curse. And you can't blame me.
Here we can.
No, you can't.
Here we can.
No.
believe me, I
And
get
you're
blamed for
blaming
everything.
me. You can't say anything out loud.
Reality is that we
Give me
will
your
blame you, but you have no choice in that. But we all know that our butts are all getting kind of close to that fire.
Yes.
It's
This is the one time offer.
All right.
What was that, Kiffy?
I was asking if this is a one-time offer because
Oh, true.
this whole is like kind of on
We do
fire
it when we
at
return.
the moment. So we really need to handle our business.
Okay.
I think Brian Kiffy was asking if this is like a one-time offer. We take it now, or
He says, well, Bartholomew looks and he says,
Yeah.
I'm willing to make this something that if you don't wish to travel down, that is fine. But again, you being that I'm doing a favor for you, you must do a favor for me. And in that case, I would like for you very, very much to take this rose and take it to the queen, but do not give it to the queen herself. I want you to hand this rose to the Princess Sentisha.
do we know who the Princess Sentisha is?
No, you have never heard of Sentisha, and you're kind of like, who is, do you want to, I mean, you can ask him more information, but he is now presenting this rose, and you notice that the rose, the stem has many thorns on it, and they are very, very sharp.
Well, you know,
And-
Brian, every rose has its thorns. Just like every night has its dawn.
Oh, God.
You know we can mute Ed, right?
Every thorn has its prick.
Actually, what I was going to go with Brian, because she's Elvish and probably very. Can I pull a history and see if maybe I've heard of her?
You can.
Come on, 20. That's actually not bad.
That isn't bad. So actually, you're kind of thinking that you have heard stories uh, of this elven princess, and she is supposed to have a what only what only one could describe as outer worldly beauty, but you're not really too sure what that means because you've never actually, I mean, you've beheld beauty before, but this is supposedly something that is not, it's not natural. So that's
All right.
interesting.
And do we tell this? Is it Princess Santasha?
Sentai. Yeah.
Tasha.
Be-
Do
be-
we?
be-
Is
Sorry,
there
before
anything
you-
this
Good,
Well,
Pop.
Go ahead.
anything foul? Any reason it has these thorns? Is it going to that woman to cause her harm?
He looks and says, I do not know what will happen if you give this rose to her. But I have
Too
been,
late.
but I have been
And do we tell this princess who the rose is from?
tell it is from an admirer. But one
An
thing,
admirer of elvish kind or one of fairy?
just say an admirer, and whatever you do, you must not remove the thorns from the stem.
Ryan, I did a sleight of hand before Timble could, and I took the rose and said, glad to take it to her. Let's go.
Okay. So, okay.
Thimble wasn't taking it. He wasn't touching it at
He
all.
wasn't going to touch it. So yeah, you reach out and make a dexterity check. Just
I want to see
not a
Thomas with
save,
the,
not a save, just
antlers
a
in
check.
a ponytail.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, you're actually able to sort of pick it without actually pricking your fingers or your palm with the extremely sharp thorns. And so you grab it, and you're, of course, he's like, yeah, we'll take it. He said, so if you, once you have done your business in wherever you happen to be going, I guess Enstad, return to me, and I shall make sure that you appear before the Rose Court.
As I look at the rose, how many thorns are on it?
There are 8 thorns.
I've got an 8-thorned rose. And you know, every rose has its thorns. Oh,
True.
man. I got a kiss from a rose. Man, I got all kinds of songs for this woman of unworldly beauty that I'm going to cheat on my wife with.
Brian, what time of the day is it? Do we know?
It seems to be a little bit after noon. As you approached him, he was probably, you're kind of thinking that with all of his preparations and everything that was going on and as things were progressing, probably noon was the magic moment that he was looking for, and that has now since passed.
That means he was trying to summon Summer Fae, I think.
And Kellis will ask him, do you know how far or how long we must travel to get to our destination?
You have actually probably close to 3-4 days tops of travel. But the beautiful thing about it is the roads that you're traveling along are very well marked. You may or may not find others occupying the road. It is the fairy kingdom is very very well known for its forest rangers and and those who keep an eye out for trouble. So most likely you will not have to be bothered too much in your travel.
Thank you.
Hmm.
All right. So, time to hit the road.
I agree.
Okay.
Happy summoning.
He just kind of looks at you and just goes, "Yes, I'll get right back to that." As he turns, his robe
Actually, I'm
sort
going
of
to break off again, and I'm going to walk up to him and kind of take him into my kind of quiet voice as I look up to him, and I'm going to say, "So, is there anything we can do for you to kind of grease the wheels of this Rose Court deal? Anything that you need?"
he says, "You've actually done enough by taking that rose to the princess."
Are you sure? Because I know I interrupted. It was rude, but man, was it cool. I was really trying to get it. I'm going to work on that. Maybe I'll bring that back to you. Regardless, is there anything you need?
No, thank you though
Something we
for
can bring from
offering.
the city? Yeah.
You know what would be nice is if you happen to be at the Broken Bow Inn in Enstad. Go to the Broken Bow. They have a mead that is produced here in Celene that I would definitely like if there's a possibility that you could bring me a bottle of that mead, I would be thrilled.
Okay. And what is it called?
It is actually, it's Celene's own mead. It's only made here in Celene. I've never heard of it anywhere else. The bees are cultivated at the base of the life tree in Enstad itself.
Oh, how wonderful. I bet that's glorious.
It is.
I will see what I can do, good sir.
You should
I
definitely.
hear it pairs well with Celine Dion mustard.
And
Yeah.
I'm going to put my hand out and shake.
Okay, he takes it and gives it one
It is a
very
compact.
firm shake. Yeah,
No,
he says, "Thank you." And maybe
I
when
got
you
him in
return,
my favor. He owes me one.
and maybe when you return with this bottle, we shall share a nip before you head off
Oh.
to the Rose Court.
Then I must bring a few bottles.
Ah, you're a partaker of spirits? Of course. Very nice. And so he turns once again and heads back to the three large stones in the center of this area, this clade. And ever so often, as you're walking, you're kind of just backing away, just kind of watching everything. You can see in the shadows around this, where the tree line is around this little grove, you can see these eyes, hundreds and hundreds of eyes, just watching you as you go. No noises. It's just
See you later, guys.
It's extremely serene. So
Serene or surreal?
Red!
serene or surreal to Timble and to Grenna, it's very serene. To you, it's a little surreal. Same with Kiffy. Kiffy is like, okay, that's way too many eyes. That's way too many animals.
Let's see, how many can I get in the fireball blast?
How many can I vaporize at one given moment? Yeah. Okay, so you once again are back on your horses and you start to make your way towards Enstad. As the druid had spoke, as Bartholomew had said, the road is very well marked and is very well kept. And it seems as though he was also true to his word that you do not see too many travelers along this path. But eventually you do end up running into a ranger or a scout. It's a squad of them. At first, you don't notice them, for they are along the tree line watching very quietly. And just as you are about ready to pass them, one of them steps out into the road and in Elvish says, "Halt," and placing his hand up to show you. He does not. He is not. His bow is on his back, but his hand, one of his hands, is resting on the longsword at his hip. And
Is he stopping in front of us? Or...
yes, yeah, he stops. He's in front of you. All the while, you can make a perception check. Okay.
I literally ride right by him like I didn't even see him.
Well, this is more for your detecting the others in the tree line on either side of the road. So, Yarn, you see off to the side behind a few different trees, you see the... you can definitely see that there are some sort of humanoids hiding behind these trees. Timble, you definitely do as well.
Hi, guys.
Yeah, so... Yeah,
I'm gonna ride up.
the rest of you are kind of like you see you're kind of looking around you because you did not hear this man. You did not see where he came from. It's like he just popped right out in front of you as you were trotting down this forested road. And see,
I'd like to ride right up to him, dismount, get in front of him. What if I don't want to? In Elvish.
What is going on?
Before he does that, I actually had to roll in.
Okay.
I attacked him. I don't attack.
Wait.
Actually, I use a persuasion. I didn't attack. I just joking. I have a persuasion roll in.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, I understand that might be how you address commoners traveling upon a way road, but obviously we are not dressed by our attire. Is that how you formally recognize possible emissaries from other lands? And I'm persuading him that we are on an important mission. It's kind of the feel I'm trying to give.
Is that little elf girl with us?
No.
She's not over there holding Kelix's hand?
No.
Okay.
No, you guys left her behind.
Yep.
That was sort of dumb.
She's a woman.
So,
Leave her behind.
so he just he looks at you, kind of a little bit surprised, and he says, "Oh, I'm very, very sorry if I have caused offense. But you see, it has been foretold that there would be someone traveling along this road with some sort of messages, special, special documentation."
Showing a form of indifference, I go like this, snap my fingers and wave the documents forward. Normally, this is handled on the borders. Once you're within the country, you can kind of move freely, meet the local lords and ladies as needed. But
yes, but you immediately came off as being very arrogant, and so we had to, of course, ask.
I'm human. I should be arrogant.
Yes, of course. And as he looks down at Timble and he says, "As for you, you did actually stop, sir. So thank you."
You wily bastard. I wondered when you would figure that out.
And he says,
So you are our escort?
"Exactly. That is why we're here. We're not here to cause you any trouble." And he looks at you, Tomas, and says, "And sir, we are definitely not here to offend. But if you will, please."
Please offend him.
You just hear some light chuckling from the forest around you, and you're like, Okay, that was a
Oh,
little
and I'm speaking in Elvish.
okay. And he looks down at you, Timble, and says, "And thank you so very much for using our tongue. It is it's very wonderful to hear.
Slippery when wet.
Even
Oh,
it is wonderful to hear even from those who are not of elvish blood." And he says, "So, I am not going to ask you for your papers." He says this in common. He says, "I already know who you are and why you're here. But I
then
am
the
here
proper
to..."
term should have been greetings, not halt.
Oh, it's going to be a rough ride to Enstad, isn't it?
In Elvish, I say to him, should I gut his horse, or would you prefer to do so?
No, no, I definitely don't want... He says this in Elvish. "I definitely do not want to damage that fine animal that... whatever. Whatever is riding upon it."
Did we know there was going to be an escort?
No, you did not
Sorry,
know.
I'm asking out of character.
Right. You did not know.
Kellex is going to kind of, because since nobody said we were going to be met, he's going to kind of look at their uniform, stuff like that. Is there anything that kind of looks like designates them as like a guard for Enstad or something like that?
Well, from what you gather, as the rest of them start to make their way out of the forest, you see that they all have matching cloaks. Each of those cloaks are fastened with a sort of a unicorn clasp, which actually does appear in the crest of Celene, as well as also on their flag. So you're kind of thinking, okay, yeah, these guys, they're wearing leathers. They all have long bows strapped across their backs, long swords at their hips.
They're
So,
elvish.
official
They are
livery,
elves.
and then
Yeah.
Okay.
it is the
So, James, we weren't told that we were going to get an escort. Who sent you?
Oh, that would be the queen herself. She got word that you were coming, and once that you were in the borders of her kingdom, she wanted to make sure that you were not molested or tarry any longer than you have to.
Oh, I didn't know
Did we-
molestation was on the table.
Well, I've had Thanksgiving at your house, so.
And so he says, "So let us not wait any longer." And as they, you see, as they are exiting the forest, you can see that they also have horses as well. They bring them forward, and the gentleman who addressed you sort of steps into the saddle, and you have two in the front, two in the four in the back, and one on each side of you as you start to proceed further. Conversation.
Greta's got a question.
Sure. What you got, Greta? You're
Can't hear you.
Hear ya.
you're muted.
Your mic's muted there.
Bunch of
Oh,
muties.
there we go. All right. That explains a lot. All right. In Gnomish,
Okay.
I'm gonna
That's
to Timble. In Gnomish and to Timble. So there's a lot of package for an escort.
Yeah, I believe it doesn't feel right either.
Okay.
But I'm gonna see. I'll see if we could tear a little something out of them.
Okay.
Okay. Oh,
And
yeah.
then I'm gonna
Does their livery look correct, Brian? Is it as we would expect?
It's what you would expect of a ranger squad.
Of a ranger squad, but not that of the court.
No, these are definitely probably what you would consider internal military, not from the court itself, but obviously from the Celene's actual army.
So even looking at their bridle, looking at the saddles, everything is correct. You know, somebody doesn't have something hanging out that makes me worried. I'm going to peruse the animals. So
Right. Yeah. I
heavily.
mean,
I'm
even
looking.
down to the part where, you can actually see their long bows, and you can see that the golden unicorn crest has actually been imbued on the
The
one of the
leathers.
limbs, on one of the limbs of the
Yeah.
bows. Very, 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 very. Also, like the one that Melda had.
Good.
I was going to ask, yeah.
Yeah. Actually, it looks extremely similar, to a point where it would be what you would consider probably standard issue for these people. I mean,
Okay.
it's an elvish longbow. It's very well made.
So my gut tells me that if I flipped a horse over, it's right on side, made by Celene.
I don't know about that, but gosh.
Because Serene looks like this. Anyway,
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
I
I'm still going to watch them because I kind of got the same curiosity that Grena had.
Okay.
Could be
Cool.
just a short folk.
Brian, I had a
Feeling a bit overwhelmed.
perception roll.
A lot of people. Oh.
I had a cusp perception roll. When she spoke gnome, did the other elves seem to notice that she spoke gnome and seem to understand her?
They didn't really seem to react at all. So you're kind of giving
Got it.
this idea that most likely they do not speak gnome. Which is also probably something. There's not a lot of gnomes in Celene. There are other, of course, countries that there are plenty.
Mm-hmm.
You can find gnomes relatively easily. Celene is one of those places where it's really an elvish place.
No, I was more along the lines, and I don't speak gnome, but
Right.
as soon as I heard a new language being spoken, or what I've heard, I was just trying to say, do they react, or are they just kind of like, whatever, we're here to take these idiots in, kind of thing.
Right.
That's what I was
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah. There wasn't really any reaction from them. They did not seem to. I mean, like I said, their conversations, if you overhear any of them, all of them are in Elvish. So those people who do speak Elvish, if you want to try to eavesdrop on them, you can go ahead and make
What?
perception checks.
What are they?
That's a good
Always.
question. I don't even know what all languages I do speak.
Grena is
Greta, what you
got
got?
something.
Because the number of escort is kind of a little concerning to me, especially since we're supposed to be official, an official envoy type thing. I'm gonna mind talk to Tomaso and just tell him, nod yes or no, is this number of guards normal for this? Because this is outside of my realm of understanding.
Wait, you're going to mime this to me?
No, mind it. Mind send.
Oh, I thought I wanted to
She's
see you
doing
act
this.
out the mime.
Yeah, she's like this.
I'm sending out my radio waves into your little pea brain. Hopefully you don't have your aluminum hat on.
Well, but anyway,
So just nod yes or no, this number of guards is normal.
Tomas kind of goes like this. Yeah, we are trying to get audience with the queen, so I'm not giving you. I could understand that, but realistically, Tomas is kind of like, fine, let's go. I'm on a personal mission to the Princess Sentisha too. Is she going to be there as well?
Are you?
He's not on a personal mission. I'll
Right.
say in Elvish.
It's an.
I did say that for the record.
Oh. Okay.
He's a delivery man.
Yeah. The elf that stopped you on the road just sort of turns and says, "Interesting. I thought your business was with Queen Yolanda. I did not realize that you were seeking out the Princess Sentisha."
Can I do a perception check?
Sure.
Is he being condescending? That's my concept here.
Well, being that
He's an elf.
He's an elf. He's a condescending.
More,
Given.
more than an elf. More than an elf.
More than an elf?
Yeah. Is he kind of like What are you talking about? I thought you. Is he trying to? Is he kind of being a dick? Is what I'm going with.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, he's kind of already kind of has it out for you anyway because you kind of started off kind of badly. So yeah, he's kind of being a little he's being a little cheeky with you. But he says, most likely, sir, the princess will be in attendance. She doesn't stray far from the castle.
Well, thank you, and you know, I understand the longevity of elves, and it's kind of hard for them to comprehend that we humans can do more than one thing at a time, than other than having an audience with the queen, but also a mission to the princess. So, I forgive you this time, and start going down the path.
How magnanimous of you, sir. And he just rolls his eyes and turns back to the road. Yes.
In Elvish, I'm going to say, "Welcome to my hell."
And all around you, you just hear this chuckling, this little bit of like Elvish. You know, it's a very light, but it's you can definitely tell that they did see humor in your statement, Temple.
I'm going to ride up next to the person we've been speaking to and have a conversation in Elvish with him.
Okay.
I'm going to say, "Oh, what's your name, Sir Captain?"
Well, if you must know, my name is Val.
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 Val Kilmore. No.
Val Kilmore.
And this is your
I did not say that out loud in character.
Oh, what would you call this?
What would
A
I call
squad,
it?
a cohort?
Oh, this
of,
is just a this is just a ranger squad. Elvish
Of
Rangers.
5. So you, I just,
5 in him.
as my fellow gnome has stated, yeah, he's a bit to handle. It's like that. Don't feed him that stuff. It just keeps going and going and going and going.
Our wisdom
just-
might be fire for you if you get tired of him.
Brian, I had a critical fail on a performance check because I was breaking out my lute
Okay.
and trying to write a song about him being a total elvish douche.
Please,
So-
let the strings all broke.
We-
The neck of the lute snapped. The
Normally I
bowl.
wouldn't bring this up,
Oh,
but it was a
Lord.
critical fail, so I got to go with it.
Okay, yeah. So as you pull it out and you're sitting there sort of tuning it just for a quick moment, you hear this twang and one of the strings breaks free and is just dangling there off to the side. You're like, not a good day. Not a good day. But yeah.
He winks at one of the female elves because they all look female to him and says, "Performance issues."
They just kind of look at you and go, "Oh, that's a shame. Something we don't have to worry about here." They just smile and laugh at you. Go on.
Yeah, well,
Broken bow in?
Yes.
You know of this?
Of course. It's one of the premier drinking establishments in Enstad. I personally
wonderful.
never get a chance to visit because I'm always needed at the castle itself.
Oh, I might have to change that if I can. We've been given a bit of a task by a friend,
Oh,
and I was just curious.
no.
There was a Celene's own mead
Oh,
that
of course.
perhaps is brewed there. That is, I hear, quite the drop.
Oh, yes, of course. It is brewed and distributed only in Enstad and only throughout this region. So, yes. The bees are extremely
Wonderful.
special and are cared for by druids at the base of the life tree itself.
Yeah, we ran into a druid and we got to talking, and I interrupted one of his
Thank you.
summonings, and I felt bad, so I thought I would.
Yes.
So you've met Bartholomew. Okay. Interesting.
Bartholomew,
Yeah.
you say that. You say it like that.
I
Bartholomew. I say it loud enough for everyone to hear.
yeah,
You know him.
of course. I mean, he is.
Is he a bit of a roustabout?
No. He is known to be quite eccentric.
Ah,
If you
might he be a pining fellow for a certain princess?
which princess do you speak of?
Citation.
Oh, Santaisha.
Citation. Excuse me.
I personally wouldn't want to even bother with that one, but of course that means no. It's either neither here nor there.
Oddly, the rose that the human was speaking of, we got it from him. He wouldn't tell us who it was actually from, but it was to go to the princess and on to the queen.
Interesting.
Now,
It was never said onto the queen.
that is what I thought. Very interesting. It has 8 thorns. We were to leave the thorns alone and not remove them.
Let me just say for the record, you sounded like Kirstie Alley when you said human from Wrath of Khan.
Good.
He says,
But
most likely, Bartholomew has been an adamant supporter of the Queen for over 500 years. I do not see that he would be any threat to her, but obviously there is something special about this rose. Maybe that is something that we'll have to have Lord Moore's Ivy to take a look at once we arrive.
Who?
Moore's Ivy. He's
Moore's Ivy?
Yes, Moore's Ivy. He's the court wizard.
Okay. I hate to be so distrustful, but when you're traveling all over the world, you run into different forms of politics and machinations, and it seemed odd.
Of course.
That's all. So I'm Val. I'm very glad we had this conversation.
Me too. I think you will find Enstad to your liking. I'm sure the Queen would love to hear what you have to say.
And I want a good drop of meat.
Then you are in for a treat, sir. Very good.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Okay.
Good tidings to you and your men. And I'll fall back into line.
Actually, were you guys talking in Elvish all that time?
I was. Except for
Okay.
when I said his name, I said it loud so you might hear that I'm talking about the druid.
Yeah.
I can fall back and I had wanted to do so anyway, but talk to Keelix under our breath and explain what I found out.
Did you, by chance, ask anything of the so-called strife? Maybe he could provide us some insight. Maybe I can.
I think we might need to develop that relationship a bit more to open up on the.
Okay, maybe after a drink.
Or 3.
Or 3.
Okay.
Well, that would be a typical way I solve a lot of things.
Yes. 1 to wet the whistle, 2 to have your first, and 3, for fun and friends.
Does that
then
explain
4
Twitter?
And then 4, go to work, and then 5, deal with day. 6,
For missing PT.
well, 7, because you missed PT. Fuck.
Yeah. 8, because I missed PT.
No, I forget what 8 is for.
But 9 for a lost cause.
Okay. So, with that in mind, you all continue along your way, and after a few days of very easy travel, you finally arrive at this just gigantic wall that looks as though it is made completely of ivy. Um, and adorning this wall is um, the banners of the royal house of Belmeadow, which is Celene's ruling family. Behind it, you can see this large castle, but even larger still, even larger than the castle itself, is this gigantic tree. I mean, it's just massive, and its branches spread over the entirety of the city. It is a monstrous tree, blocking out all light. And as you all proceed to the gate, Val is at the front. You see the guards react to him a little bit more differently. They do not ask you for papers or anything of that nature. Immediately the doors are opened, and as the doors are opened, they fall to a knee in his presence. Yes.
Head first.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, since I'm still trotting in front of him, do I perceive it as they're showing him such this or me?
You're not really too sure.
Just checking. Go ahead, Albie.
I myself, I just wanted to say that as the days go by, I've actually been trying to develop a rapport with him.
Okay. He has been, has talked to you and stuff, but he doesn't really give you a lot of info.
I'm not really fishing for info at this point.
Yeah.
It's small talk, getting to kind of know what their what he likes, what's going on. I'm showing him some of my art and some of the things that I do, and curious to see if we can break down at least one wall and befriend him at some level.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, Glenn, that only worked with you once in Germany, so showing somebody your art at the back of the bus, it's never going to work again.
Well, back of the bus is not all bad in Germany.
Well, that's where we were.
And so, as these gates open and you can see the city beyond, this city is unlike any other city that you've seen. It's being that it's an elvish city, a lot of it is in the trees themselves, and there's plenty of trees here. I mean, there are certain buildings that are on the ground. You do have like blacksmiths and things of that nature, which are more ground based, but for the most part, there's a lot of like hanging walkways. There are elves coming and going, but as you all keep proceeding into the village or into this town itself, you notice that most of the people who see you passing are stopping. Many of them have heads bowed. It's a little off-putting because it's not something that you're really used to. Especially like Timble, this is kind of odd. But go ahead. What you got?
I'm just going to kind of move forward to Val, and I am going to say in Elvish to him, I think you forgot something. Just who are you?
He just slowly turns his head to you and he just smiles and says, "You have so much to learn, Mr. Timble."
Well, I know not the elves, but perhaps we'll figure a few things
He
out.
says, "In time."
All right, my friend.
No need to fret. And so,
no, I don't hear this.
Yeah,
I'll back up.
and as you
Right,
all, you're
I was
passing.
going to assume the population ratio is where I looked up Celene. We're talking about 9% human, and that's the high end.
Yeah.
Let's see, roughly right here or worse.
Enstad
water.
is, I mean, it is the capital city. You might run into some human, like maybe some maybe merchants and things of that nature, but this is really, yeah, you find humans more on the outskirts, closer to other human, like on borderlands and things of that nature. This is really pretty much an elven city. So as you kind of make your way and you're getting closer and closer to this very large castle, you look off to the side to see, you can now see the trunk of this monster tree, and it is actually setting on an island, in what you would kind of consider a park. But you can, as you're sort of seeing this, you can see that there are white clad individuals who are on this island, and as they are moving around, you see them just, some look like they are tending to the tree. Some are pulling a small rowboat up onto the shore, where other white-clad individuals are stepping off. And
is this a conifer or a deciduous tree?
it's an oak. It's just a gigantic oak tree. Yeah, it's a monstrous. It's probably the largest oak tree you've ever seen in all of your travels.
Still bear fruit? Are there acorns?
You're not close enough to actually see anything being produced by it. Okay. So with that in mind, you finally get to the gates of the castle itself. Again, now this is it's kind of like a moss or ivy colored walls, and it's just so much lush green, and you can smell the wood, and just it's amazing. And once again, the gates open, and again the guards take stances of taking a knee before your procession. And finally, you see that there are others who are approaching and taking the reins of the horses and leading them over to like a main courtyard. There, Val and his men what do they get off their horses. Immediately they fall into what you would consider a formation. Val takes up sort of the position of where an NCO or an officer would stand, and in Elvish he releases them, and they break ranks and start to make their way to different locations within the castle walls.
As I dismount, I'm going to say, Val, I think you have had great sport with us. Well done, my friend. Well done.
Again, Mr. Temple, I think you are correct in that assumption, and I am sorry if I have misled you.
Oh, I take no offense. Actually, I find it a lot of fun and grace in what you did. Well done.
Fine. And so he says, "Please come inside." And so the guards open the doors, and you walk into this like a large foyer, and beyond it are two gigantic wooden doors, and there are guards standing there. And as soon as they see you all approach, Val turns and says, "If you wait one moment, I will make sure to go in and properly announce you." So,
we will.
And do not worry, I will make sure to come back for you. Okay.
Did you?
So, the guards open the door for him. He strides in purposefully. They close the door, and they stand there, just at the position of parade rest.
Can I take note of their livery?
Yes.
the royal livery.
Yeah.
I want to take note of that.
Okay.
I mean, seriously, mentally taking note of everything.
Okay. Yeah, these guys are wearing half plate armor. They have a similar green cloak with the unicorn clasp. They have a helm on that has has feathers off to one side. It's not a full helm. It's just a helmet. It's not like a full face. It's not like a, one of those. I'm trying to
They have
remember what they're
plumes.
called. Yeah. Yeah. The plumes are a matching, like a gold and green color. So it's very color coordinated. The uniforms look extremely, very well polished.
All right.
Yeah. So a few moments pass, and Val once again comes to the door, and opens and said, and he waves you all in. You walk into this absolutely just beautiful throne room. It's long. It's got the interesting part about it is that the entire top of it is made of glass. All the while you see multicolored gems are floating in the air, and as the light passes through this glass, it strikes those gems and just colors the floor and walls with just absolutely beautiful colors.
So it looks like we're in carousel.
When you
Logan's Runs fans will understand.
That's right. So as you get closer and closer, you can see that there is a dais. Sitting on are two seats. One is empty. The other one is occupied by an elvish woman who, it's kind of hard to tell how old elvish people are sometimes. So it can be a little tough, but you're kind of thinking that she's probably closer to about 700 or 800 years old. She as soon as she sees you, she stands. She's extremely tall. And I need everyone to make a perception check. Timble, what you got?
Ryan, I have a question concerning what we were sent here with.
Yes.
We had diplomatic pouch to the Queen Yolanda and
Yes.
the opposing. So to both?
No, well, actually, I think you were carrying a packet from Zan, who it was given to you by her. I'm trying to remember the other elven gentleman, the one you guys don't like, in Bissell.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Shimmery something. I don't.
Yeah.
See,
Hold on,
I
I can look.
forget.
Yeah. It's one of
Oh
those.
yeah.
There's so many NPCs.
The elf Kiffy doesn't like.
Yes,
that narrows it down a lot.
Oh, okay, that's Silvar. Yeah,
Silvar.
yeah.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Okay, so very good. Alrighty, so yes, you have the information that was provided to you by Silvar, which came from Zan, the Queen of the Vespi. So that's, at least you have something. Let's see what perceptions are. Kiffy, Yarn, Kelix. Okay, so
And I'll
Kelix.
let you know that is the actually third 12 in a row that I rolled for perception tonight.
Wow, that's crazy. So yeah, okay, so Tomas is actually about the only person who didn't really. I think Tomas is more is really just kind of taken by how pretty the entire place is. Like I said, this elvish woman. I'm sorry.
As Pop pointed out, my last 3 perception checks are 7, 5, and 4. So yeah.
Okay. So,
Damn it! I'm normally used to getting those roles.
Us humans just don't perceive too much, do we?
Yeah, well, that's all this here elven stuff. Shit. Next thing you know, they're gonna want us to wash our hands.
They probably got them indoor bathrooms.
So this elvish woman is wearing a sort of a gossamer green gown with a cape. She has a crown upon her head, and she sort of just waits for you all to stop at the normal location where one would stop when it comes to dealing with royalty. But Val breaks that. He breaks that space, and as he approaches, he actually comes to a knee in front of what you can only expect is Queen Yolanda, and she puts her hand out. He takes it, he kisses it, and then he says, "I have done as you've asked, Mother." And he rises and then steps off to her left and stands next to the throne.
So again, is that in Elvish or in Common?
It was in Elvish. So the only person who would be able to understand it is, but you do see him take that location. Everybody but Tomas, once she rises and walks down that one step, you all are taken by how much she looks like Melda. It's almost like you're looking at her.
As we're moving forward, I know I'm small and I don't have a lot of ass, but I'm going to try to put a little shoulder in the back of Helix to make him move forward, because I sure as hell don't want Tomas up there.
Felix, you're the leader. You're the leader.
Here. Yeah, when it really matters. It's your turn now.
So
I can do
All right,
that.
well,
I don't want to
Alex
die.
will step forward. He will give his most gracious bow, rise up, and honored Queen,
Who are we killing?
thank you for seeing us on behalf of the Margrave Lanagrin and the Lady Ilia. We are sit here to hopefully help in some way.
she she doesn't really show much emotion. She says, "What have you brought me?"
Straight to the point.
Okay, so I got a question. Was it the only thing I had was the papers? Is that what she's referring to, or did Timble have something?
It should be all the documentation that was given to you by Silvar.
Then okay, so I hand.
Yeah.
Then I just hold out the scroll of documents.
Okay.
Or the documentation.
She takes. She said, "Thank you, sir," and she immediately just passes it directly off to Val, and she says, "I shall take a look at these documents. I will make sure to have some ruling, as I would like to call it, about what I am reading and seeing. I do thank you for taking the time to come all this way." And just as she kind of gets interrupted, you see there's a door off to the right of the throne room opens, and in walks an elvish woman, and Tomas, you immediately think, okay, this has to be Princess Entisha. She looks absolutely nothing like her mother. Her hair is like with her mother. Her mother's hair is blonde. She looks a lot like Melda, but Entisha looks nothing like either of them. Her hair is platinum. Her eyes flash silver. They're very, you're kind of thinking, okay, she is not as tall as the queen, but she carries herself like one. She has kind of a cold demeanor, and trailing right behind her is a young elvish princess. She is dressed regally, just like her sister. She also, you can definitely tell that there is a family resemblance between her and the queen, and a little bit of resemblance with Sentisha. But you're kind of thinking that she may only be probably 75 years of age. She is a young woman. And she walks
A
in.
prepubescent elf.
Yeah, you're kind of thinking that maybe she would probably be like what you would consider like maybe 12 or something like that in human years. It's very, very, and unlike her sister, she doesn't carry herself very regally. She's kind of, like I said, a kid. And she's just got this big old giant smile on her face, which is so weird on an elf. You usually don't see elves smile a lot. But she's kind of like just totally not. She's different.
So you're saying that instead of a Downs elf, they call it ups? So she has this case of up syndrome with the
She
elf
has a case of the up syndrome.
Brian,
Yes.
I will say under my breath, but loud enough to be heard. Your Grace, Val is the court wizard in Moss Ivy.
He looks over at his mother very quickly because you've kind of broken with protocol.
Yeah,
But by talking to him instead of addressing the queen, so he kind of gives you this look, and then he just looks over at her, and she just like puts her hand up like this and says, "I understand that you are new here. And if you are looking for my court wizard, I am sure that we can find him."
Your lady, and I'll drop to a knee again. And no, I am concerned about a gift that we are carrying. I want to make sure that there is nothing afoot, if you will.
And
if I may, Your Grace, I've been charged by the Archdruid Bartholomew to bring a gift to the lady, and whilst I've borne it this distance, I'm willing to sacrifice myself and prick myself with a thorn to prove its safety and prove I brought it here with no malice unto her.
It was to be brought to the princess and then to the queen.
No, it was brought to the princess, and she's right there.
And then
yeah, but that's okay. You didn't have it.
I did not want it. I didn't want it then. I don't want it now, and I don't trust it.
She says, "Please." As you see that now the other two princesses have taken up their spots on the right side of the throne, and the elder princess Sentisha just looks and just looks and says, "You come here to quibble in front of my mother. How interesting." And I mean, you can just see just cold, just seething from her. It almost looks almost like malice. And you see Yolanda just look over and says, "Daughter, they are new here. They do not know our ways and not know of how we handle things here in court. Do not judge too harshly."
And we have the court safety at heart.
Yeah. All the while, the smaller princess is just sort of she looks bored, like she would rather be doing something else. That this is definitely not her thing. So,
well, no. Forgive me, Your Grace. I realize we're from outside your realm and do not know the courtesies of your court. Allow me. And Tomas performs on a 15, and He takes out his lute and goes, "In the lands of Celene, fair and bright, resides a queen of peerless might. Her grace a beacon in realms so vast, in Orus annals her reign is cast. With regal poise and Wyndham's gleam, she guides her realm like a tranquil stream. In elven halls her name resounds, as protector of these sacred grounds. Beneath the boughs of ancient trees she governs with finesse and ease. Her subjects sing her praise on high, beneath the Selene's azure sky. In courts adorned with eldritch charm, her sovereignty dispels all harm. The Queen of Selene, revered and grand, a jewel of Oreth, Storyland.
Holy mackerel. Okay, so number one, Ed, you get a point of inspiration for that. That was insanity. Okay, so immediately the queen just is like, oh my. The look on Sentisha's face really didn't soften, but the look of the smaller princess, she is just absolutely just beaming at you like, oh my gosh, how absolutely beautiful that was. So it's kind of like you've, even the queen she just, gives a clap and says, oh, that was lovely. Thank you so much. You, sir, are...
Your Grace, I am Sir Thomas Waverley of the Yeomanry. Your Grace.
From the Yeomanry? What a distance you have traveled. She says, she looks over at Val and said, Val, please make sure that they find the best lodgings. I will, of course, talk with them again tomorrow. She looks back at you and says, please make yourself at home here in Enstad. I'm not really too sure what we can offer a bard of such ability for entertainment within our city, but I'm sure if you travel down to our merchant district, I suggest the Broken Bow. Val, make sure that the rooms are, of course, covered by us, of course. And then you just kind of see that the Val is very, he's like, of course. Yeah, of course, Mother. I'll make sure that everything is properly cared for. Sentisha just like, ugh, and just walks off. While Asenath, that's the other princess. You don't, of course, know her name yet, but she actually bounds down the stairs and walks up to you, Tomas, and it's like, sir, do you have any other songs that you can play on that? You heard the queen sort of said, Asenath, do not bother them. They have traveled very long and from very far away. They don't want to be bothered by a young princess. And of course, she's not looking at her mother. She's looking at you, Tomas, and she just rolls her eyes and, yes, Mother, I understand. But she does flash you a smile, though.
I say, Your Grace, please, if I may, I know a song of my youth that my mother used to sing to me about a young elfin maiden named Mary. Now she had a little lamb, and its fleece was white as snow. And everywhere that Mary went, that lamb was sure to go. And it reminds me of the innocence of the youth of this child. Here we go. Here's the roll. No mods. Oh, man.
Yeah, sometimes you get them, sometimes you don't.
Sometimes you never.
Yeah,
Maybe the Epps kid loves me. Wait, I have inspiration. I will use
You
my
do have
on
inspiration. You can. Yes.
Oh.
I'm not seeing the roll.
Yeah, I'm not either. What happened?
Uh,
No rolls.
oh, I didn't pop up. Didn't pop up.
No.
All right. So my initial,
Was a
did they show?
9 and then a 12?
And then I
Okay.
rolled 12. Yeah, I
Okay.
bumped up a little bit. So.
A 9 and a 12. Okay, so yeah, so you're using the 12. Yes. The queen doesn't really pay much attention, but the young princess, Asenath, definitely does. And she seems quite enamored by the tale of Mary and her little lamb. So Val walks off the dais. It says, lady and gentlemen, if you will, follow me. And so you all proceed out of the throne room. Actually, you were being escorted by Val, and also Asenath is kind of bringing up the rear, just kind of looking at you all and sort of checking everybody out. She walks up to Kiffy and says, "Oh, I've read about you. You're a dwarf. I've never actually met a dwarf."
Well, now you can't say that anymore.
That's awesome. Well, I hope you have a really nice stay in Enstad. And I'm going to let all my friends know. Well, I don't have a lot of friends, but I do have some friends here in the castle that I actually met a dwarf today. It's amazing. I'll have to write it down.
You know, milady, you're more than welcome to come down to the tavern tonight. I'll probably be performing. And I'm sure Kiffy would love to see you there.
Val quickly turns and says, "Asenath, you need to go. And you definitely are not going out tonight. Mother would be quite displeased." And she just says, I know. I'm not supposed to leave the castle. Whatever.
Did I ever tell you a story of how I have a Roy Orbison tattoo? And people that have seen The Water Boy will get it. What Mama don't know. She, I kind of give her the look like, you know, you want to come down, and that's a persuasion.
Okay, let's see what you. Oh yeah, that was very persuasive. It was crazy persuasive.
I am on my game. God damn it, Russ. I'm not allowed to have another heart attack.
Bordering on creepy. Bordering on creepy.
Threw me off sync.
Okay, so
yes, that's the way I like it.
Your Grace, Val.
Yes.
Perhaps you need a court Chester.
He just looks very sternly at. He looks very sternly at you and just like, no, not that one. And so Asenath turns and walks back towards the throne. All the while, her mother once again takes a seat, and you can see that other courtiers have arrived and are petitioning the queen for things. But you all are led out of the room, and Val takes you back into the city and takes you to the Broken Bow. Now, the Broken Bow is not a ground-based building. It's up inside of a very large tree. And so as you are proceeding and going up these elevated walkways, you can see the city below you. It's absolutely glorious. It's just such a beautiful place. You finally get inside, and the room is it's a little dark. There's lights, of course, and things like that, but it's really very low lit. Elves don't really need a lot of light anyway, so they don't really, it's not that big of a deal. But you can smell food cooking, and you can see that there are elves around, sitting at tables, talking. Some are playing games, cards and dice and things of that nature. And as you are shown into this main room, everything comes to a screeching halt as soon as they spot Val. And everybody hits the floor with one knee. And Val just says, good people, please, please go about your business. And everybody, but you can actually see that he has obviously been here before, but not knowing who you all are, you kind of got this idea that they were thinking, oh, he's there with Prince Val. They may also be of some sort of nobility. So they did not want to take a chance that they were going to offend. I mean, it's a very...
Feel free to worship me from afar.
Yeah. So a table, he finds a very large table for you to sit at, and he says, I shall leave you here, my friends. Of course, everything is covered by the crown, so do not worry about that.
Your Grace,
I will
before you leave?
Of course, yes, Mr. Temple.
Might you have one of Celene's finest? Just one.
He just gives you this slight smile, and he says, I think I could stick around for one. And
I move over my seat and grab one from another table. Let's see what tonight brings.
Okay, very good. He waves over one of the waitresses, and he says, Terethia, can you please bring me one of Celene's finest? One bottle, please. The young woman, of course, bows and says, Your Grace, of course. I'll be more than pleased to do so.
Might I get the same?
Oh, of course. So she brings out like 3 bottles of this mead. It's very, glasses are put down on the table. It's uncorked, and you guys go ahead and Val pours some drink for himself, and make sure that everybody's got some, and then he raises a toast, and he says, to newfound friends and allies,
and peace between family members.
He looks at you and he says, how apt. And he, everybody, oh, go ahead, Tomas.
I agree. I accept your offer of peace and alliance with the yeomanry, and I clink his glass.
He kind of looks at you like, wait, what? But as everybody is clinking glasses and everything like that, and he just kind of goes, oh, okay.
His elevator doesn't go all the way up.
And he just shoots he just shoots.
He knows I got him on one.
He shoots
He must have been preloading.
Yeah, he shoots it back. And and it is true. This is possibly some of the finest mead that you've ever tasted. And he says, well, unfortunately, I cannot stay. But
one more for the yeomanry.
He says, well, how can I pass that up? And, and so, once again, another round, everybody's shot glasses are filled with this fine drink. And again, it says, for the yeomanry. And everybody's clinking glasses.
And our dwarven brothers. And I clink Kiffy last, showing him up.
Oh, man. Drinking this pretty shit is really getting me down, but I'm not going to say nothing.
Don't worry.
It's definitely not what Kiffy would probably find appetizing, or even agreeable or enjoyable. But being that he is, very cognizant of the situation, he
highly resistant to poison.
He's highly resistant to poison.
To be fair, Mike, it's probably not the worst thing that I've ever given you to drink.
Fair.
Fair.
Fair. There you go. Okay. So cool. Alrighty.
As
So-
he tries to
Oh,
leave
wait.
again,
One,
I'm gonna pull
one,
this.
one more for the blessing of Heronius.
Here, here.
So after about the fifth drink, the fifth toast, yeah, it's got to a point where it's like, Val just stands up and says, "I must go." Again, have a good night. I will come for you in the morning. I'm sure my mother will be looking to talk to you about how to go forward with the situation. Says,
Thank you.
yeah.
Thank you, Your
He
Grace.
said, and I will also try to find more Ivy to have him talk to you tomorrow after your meeting with the Queen.
Good. I don't have to sneak out of this wonderful establishment.
He just smiles and he says, Mr. Timble, I'm just at a loss for words sometimes. And he just gets up and walks away.
As he starts to walk away, I pour one more glass and I say, "The Queen."
And he immediately turns and looks at you and says, "I have to drink to that." And so he walks over, grabs his, yes, to the Queen. And everybody clinks glasses. He immediately drinks, puts it down, and literally sprints out the door before you can say anything else. And he leaves you there.
Never thought I'd get rid of that dude.
So a few moments afterwards, the waitress, her name is Tarithia, walks back and places some food and bread and cheese and things on the table for you. And she also says, the prince also said that you were going to be staying with us this evening. And she each hands you a key. She says, those stairs right there will take you up into the branch rooms. So, of course, use them at your leisure. We do serve breakfast in the morning, so make sure that if you feel so inclined to come down. And then she just looks over and she says, when you were inside, you've been to the castle, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
She says, did you see the Princess Sentasha?
Yes.
She says, she just, she gets this kind of faraway look in her eye. And she says, did she look okay? It's been so long since we've seen her.
Green button.
Hmm?
Green button.
It says join.
Is this genuine concern, Brian?
I mean, you can do a.
Which one you do?
I got it.
The one in the-
Yeah, I did a perception, 18.
Okay. Yeah, it looks as though she is actually. You're kind of giving a really good look at her. You kind of think that maybe she might be probably close to about the same age as the princess.
The older princess that we have
The
been
older.
introduced as Sentasha
Yeah.
versus the younger. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
Yeah, the older one, Sentasha, not Asenath.
For record, guys, I was wondering if maybe there was a switch, like they didn't want, the younger one is. So I was just checking that. Okay.
You know the princess?
She says, yes, actually, my
In
mother.
your childhood?
My mother was a handmaiden to the queen, and I kind of grew up inside the castle, and Sentasha was
Has
my
she
friend.
always been so peaked, I guess? Short of...
No.
She seemed quite, well, angry all the time.
Yes.
Has she disliked outsiders? Non-elves?
She wasn't always like this. I remember when
Did something happen?
I'm not really even too sure. Just one day she changed.
One day she changed.
Yes.
Interesting. And that day, I mean, was it an important day? Did something happen within the nation, or just out of the
No.
blue?
I just know that she was in the market district. I was supposed to actually meet her there that day, and something happened. She fell ill and was in a deep, deep sleep for several days and had to be cared for. And ever since then, I've only seen her once, and she was not the same person.
And not the same person. Interesting.
Yes. She says, but did she look okay?
Oh, she
When
looks
was the last
fit.
time you? Yeah, when was the last time you saw her? Then
She kind of thinks back and she says, we were just kids. It's been probably close to probably 50 years, maybe more. But since
Did
then,
anything else change about her other than her demeanor and personality? Was there a physical change?
no, she seemed the same physically. But soon afterwards, my mother was dismissed from court, and now I'm here. You know, who knows what would have happened if we'd stayed.
Yes.
She says, I'm sorry, but I have to get back to work. Thank you so much
and your
for
name,
hearing
lady?
me. I'm
And your name,
Terithia.
lady?
Terithia. Yeah.
Dan, I'm just gonna say this: make L's like all begin with A's, so I don't have to type all these crazy letters. I'm never gonna get them all spelled right.
Oh,
I will make sure to add all of the names to the NPC list, so you won't
Thank
have to.
you.
Yeah. You
Yeah.
do not want to see my spelling list over here. So
Yeah, same here.
Yeah. No, I understand. I wouldn't make you guys go through that. That's why I have an
the
NPC
scribble
list.
I have here. I think I write all of the names 3 or 4 times to get something near it.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. But no, I'll make
I
sure
just
to
make up my
add
own
all this.
names.
Okay. So she ends up she goes ahead and goes back to work and leaves you to eat and sort of relax, being that you're not in the saddle. And so, is there anything you wanted to talk about or you're thinking about?
first of all, what's the general vibe of the bar? I get it. We're in an upscale establishment. Is it like hoity-toity, or is it
No,
raucous for elves? Or
it's
you know what I mean?
yeah. I mean, it's not prancing pony and brie. You know, it's not that. And it's not the green dragon either. So that's kind of nice. You would kind of think that it's subdued. It's people are friendly, but they're also a bit standoffish around.
It's elvish. Everybody has a
It's
stick up their
elvish.
ass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of it's the only reason it was kind of there was a little break in it was because Val had showed up. And you kind of think that Val, the way it looked, is that Val had probably visited this place often. You do every once in a while see a ranger or a soldier will come in, probably off duty, to have a drink. And
Do we see any
and
members of our escort?
You see maybe one or two of them sitting at a table, just taking in some food. They do spot you and just kind of wave, but they do not approach.
I will send some mead to them. Not my
Okay.
dimes. So.
Yeah. Okay. So they hold up their glasses when they receive it, as a thank you. There doesn't seem to be any entertainment. There is a small stage, but there is no actual entertainment that evening.
I'm fleeing
So
to my room.
You are fleeing
So I
to
can
your
sit there
room.
and say,
The moment he picks up an instrument, I'm gone.
Elven
I'm
Bard, Elven Bard, or sorry, Elven Guard, you escorted this Elven Bard. Anyway.
You get negative inspiration.
Oh, damn it. No entertainment. What does everybody want? A song, poem, or a story?
Silence.
At this point, I think Killex is probably a little melancholy because obviously he noticed the family resemblance and the queen and stuff like that. So he's kind of thinking of Melda a bit, stuff like that. So yeah,
off to the room to rub one out, are we?
Jesus Christ! It's like going on a business trip with you guys. I swear to God.
If he's gonna take advantage of the all-you-can-drink bar here.
Okay. So Kiffy, you were actually able to find something a little bit more palate pleasing for you, other than this
Something rooty.
this weak mead, and yeah, you're able to see that they actually have some stuff that is brought down out of the Lort Mill Mountains, which are not actually too far away from Enstad. And you're able to find some stouts and ales that are a little bit more to your liking. It's not the stuff. It's not like the stuff from home that will literally wreck a human after one glass. But it's okay. It's a lot better than wine, which you guys really are not big fans of. So it's like, wine. That's
Glorious.
yeah. So yeah, you spend some time there getting wrecked, I guess. It'll take a long time to get there though, but at least you will have fun. And you do strike up a conversation. You strike up a conversation with the barkeep, who seems interested in exactly how much you can put away before you put your before you give up. And he is very impressed by your stamina and ability to just like take the hard stuff that they have. He said, "We're like he says, most elves wouldn't be able to drink even a fraction of what you've just totally put out." So
the Oriental Adventures of Greyhawk. Yeah.
We all must have our place.
Yes.
Gotcha.
okay.
Brian, I rolled a 15 on a performance, and
Okay.
in Celene's grace, forest whispers tales, where moonbeams dance and starlight trails, the kingdom fair where dreams take flight, in Celene's heart, eternal light. Sorry, I ran out of time because didn't realize I was going to perform this early. But hey, no performance anxiety. Yay!
So as you take the stage and just start to play, everybody's attention turns to you. The room goes very, very quiet, and everyone is just kind of taken in and are very like, wow, this they were not expecting someone to play, and unlike other places where they'll they sometimes they'll just throw change up on like coppers and silvers up on this is an elvish place, so they actually as they enjoy your entertainment, they literally come by and just place coins and things like that up on the stage where you're at.
No. Please donate it to the poor of the city, to the ones that don't have. I perform only for your enjoyment.
Throw overly ripe fruit.
Throw overly ripe fruit. I crave moldy tomatoes. Throw them at me.
But none befall.
So you entertain them. And by the end of your set and everything, they're like, you actually have some toe tapping going on. People are really kind of enjoying it. It's not one of your best performances, but it's definitely
not my worst.
It's not your worst. It's not a 9 or an 8. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty good.
All right. Well, at least they're entertained. So there we go. If anybody wants to work the crowd, you got it in. So, and I'm staying up late in case a Cynthia comes up.
Who? I'm sorry.
A Cynthia.
A Cynthia? Oh, are you thinking Asenath? The young
Asenath.
princess? Asenath, yeah.
Oh, I heard it wrong earlier, but that's that word. Like
Yeah,
I said,
like I said,
my spelling. You know what? It says ass, and I totally get
It's-
that now in my phonetic.
Yeah, it's
But then I pronounce it like a human being.
yeah, Asenath. Asenath.
Asenath. Okay.
Yeah, cool.
Does she show up?
No, she does not.
Damn it. I had plans for that.
Did anything to do with abduction?
You know, there's a lot of humor in that, Brian. I like that.
Yeah.
Ignore the large bag of holding that's wiggling. Anyway,
Large bag of holding. Oh God. Okay, so that was good. So yeah, yeah, Kippy, as you're kind of looking around, there are other people here. I mean, you can see that you might see that there might be a blacksmith that is sitting at one of the tables talking with other artisans. But other than that, you don't really see, there might be some others, but you can't really tell by their dress, or maybe like, the dirt under their fingernails or something like that. But elves try to be a little bit more clean about things. It's not like they're working in mines or anything. They're that's what dwarves are for God's sake.
Yeah, I'm not here to mix with the elves. They're not really my kind of people. I'm just here for the free booze.
Just here for the booze. All right, cool deal. Alrighty, so after a long after the evening kind of winds down, you all find yourselves finally making your way back to your, if you hadn't already made your way to your rooms. The pathway to the rooms are very interesting. There's staircases that are kind of carved into wooden platforms, and it's just really strange. You finally get to these rooms, and they're really beautiful, well appointed. It's not like Spartan existence or anything of that nature. It's there's windows, and you can see some lights on in the city below, and you can see that there are lights, but the lights around the great tree are not stationary. They kind of just float around, creating this just magical look to this just gigantic monstrous oak tree. Yeah, and you lay your heads to rest and actually get a very, very good sleep after drinking the Celene's own mead and partaking in a meal that wasn't trail rations. You actually get a good night's sleep. And so the morning comes, light barely streaming through the gigantic canopy of leaves above you, but there is little bits of light that filters through, and you start to smell the smell of bread baking, as well as breakfast type meats like ham and bacon and things of that nature downstairs. So make your way downstairs. Yeah, you make your way downstairs.
And the beer.
Yeah. So yeah,
well,
I mean,
we all
beers
accept the beers at breakfast.
Yeah, beer's kind of a thing at breakfast. I mean, that works. So
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it helps with digestion. It's important.
I
So
think it's a tradition we should bring back these days.
yeah, yeah, really.
I know.
Yeah,
I know. I'm drinking beer at breakfast with at least 3, if not 4, of the people here. Does that count?
okay. So you have breakfast, and as you're sitting there, kind of getting you've had your fill. The door creaks open, and once again you see Prince Val walk in. This time he's dressed actually not in his not in his sort of ranger outfit. It looks more like he is wearing his court clothing. So it's more regal, definitely more belying of his station. And he says, "Well, good morning, my friends. It looks as though you survived the night." He looks over at each of you in turn and says, "So, I believe it's time. I'm sure the Queen is waiting."
Brian, I'm going to take full note of his I guess, princely attire.
Okay.
What's what? Because I'm going to try to paint him sneaking in the door at the what is this? The broken.
At the broken bow.
I think that would be a nice personal thing for him.
Right.
So,
Can you paint me like one of your Elvish paintings, Timble?
I don't have enough velvet to cover that fat ass.
Velvet. Okay, so yeah, so you guys follow Val back out and back into the castle and back to the throne room. This time there are more people here standing around, not standing on the dais. The only ones who are actually there are Queen Yolanda is there. You see Princess Antaisha is there. You see an elderly elven man dressed in the robes of what you could only assume is some sort of wizard or sorcerer, is leaning against a very gnarled oak staff. And his eyes just kind of twinkle as he watches you all walk in. And
When you say elderly, over 1,000?
pretty close. He's very, very ancient. I mean, usually, like I said, elves are hard to tell, but this guy looks like he may or may not be around much longer. I mean, elves. This time, though, you notice that there is a woman who is also present, who is not Santaisha or Asenath, and you all recognize her as the woman who visited the old 97 the night of the vampire attack.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
What's her name?
Wait, good visit or bad visit?
Good. It was a good visit. Well, it turned into a bad visit, but it wasn't because of her.
That's before it got bad.
Yes.
She was smart.
Vampires. Could be bad. Out of here.
Tina? Is that Sarah Tina?
Yeah, was that Melda's sister?
No.
I think it was
Okay.
an aunt.
Okay. So I
Or
think
a
you're.
cousin.
I think you're.
Aunt. There you go. Sorry.
I think you're thinking of Shira.
Yeah, Shara. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Shira is from what you gather, the grandmother of Melda and the mother of Yolanda. She's the queen mother. So, yeah. Okay, so she's standing a little bit back, kind of directly behind Asenath. They're all dressed in their court finery, and of course you all approach at the allotted space. The queen rises and says, "Good morning. I hope you had slept well."
Quite well, Your Grace.
Excellent. Excellent. I have looked at the documents that you have brought me, and I understand the plight that those in Bissell are facing. And I really do truly understand. And I do understand that my cousin is trying to mend this fence. But I think I'm going to need something a little bit more from her. Something that would definitely seal this deal.
And that would be
You
your dearest.
sacrifice from us.
Says,
You can have him.
says, I have been giving it much thought. And I understand that Queen Zan might be willing to part with a special item that she has in her possession. And so, with that in mind, I might send or ask. I know that you are not mine to control, but if you are so willing to travel to Amarillo, to the court of Zan, it might bode well for all of us.
So you need to say we need to make Amarillo by morning.
I would not expect you to travel that quickly. I wish I had some way of being able to teleport you closer, but since there has been a break in this in our relationship, she has closed off her ability for us to port between Enstad and Amarillo. She looks over quickly. She looks over quickly at the wizard, and he just gives her a light nod. She says yes. So yes, it is.
How do you spell Amarillo?
Oh, actually, it's on the map, and I will make sure.
I see Arnum.
Hold on 1 minute. Let's see. That is Greyhawk map.
Actually, I found a place called Greyhawk Landing in Amarillo, Texas, which is for sale.
Well, that's cool. Okay, so we are looking at.
Holy shit! They want $699,000 for that place. Never mind, I'm not moving there.
Okay, well that was interesting. Alrighty, let me find the best.
Not unusual though.
Yeah. Okay, so, all right. Amarillo is AMAORIAL. AMAORIAL.
What area is it located in?
That's in the Vesvi Forest.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's not in the Celene area?
Oh no,
It's
no,
north.
it's far to the north.
We gotta go through enemy lines, man.
It's almost all the way up to Iuz.
Oh, crap. Yeah, in the Heartlands. Okay.
Yep.
Not asking. Or what is she?
Man,
Ain't
We're
asking
gonna
for a
need
lot.
new.
Well, at least I know we're not going against the Giants next. So
Your Grace, and I'm sure you're ready for me to ask, or one of us to ask this. What object are you looking for, and do you think your cousin would be willing to part with it?
She says, I believe she'd be more than willing to, especially being that she is the one that wishes to mend this fence so badly. There is a scepter that belonged to our great-grandfather. And I feel that it is definitely time, if she wants to mend this fence properly, that she will let me have that scepter.
Historically, have I heard of this scepter? I rolled a 22.
It's not.
Kind of.
It's not. It's probably. It would be considered definitely ancient knowledge. Um,
Ooh,
Elvish, yeah, like ancient Elvish kings. I mean, you got to think you're looking
Gotcha.
at maybe like 3,000 years ago or something. It's
Gotcha,
like a
yeah,
long
no, I get it.
time. Yeah, so it's just very ancient lore. Interesting ancient lore, but still, it might be something you definitely learn more once you could actually talk about it or find out more about it in either the library here in Enstad or in Emeril. So,
Roger.
cool.
Nah. Find out on the road. Just know if I know anything about it going out.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So, any other questions?
19 minutes.
Okay. So, as you all are standing there and she's telling you this, you see the woman who is standing behind Asenath, Shira, steps forward, places her hand upon Yolanda's shoulders, one of her hands on Yolanda's shoulders, and Yolanda looks at it. Mother, what is it that you need? And she looks right at you, Calix, and she says, Where is your elven friend? Where is she?
Okay.
Marydale.
Surprise. She's not. If you're referring to Melda, correct?
As soon as you say that name, immediately Yolanda just shoots a look at both you and then quickly takes a look at Shira. And it's like her face is almost kind of, it's got an alabaster look to it anyway, but it just looks like just total shock. And you see also a kind of a visceral reaction from Sintaisha. It's like fire just absolutely just erupts behind those silver eyes, and you're thinking, oh shit. Well, I mean, that's the first thing you kind of think. You're like going, oh Lord, what have I done? Shira is looking right at you, and her eyes are just huge, and she just goes, her eyes just close, and she just like, and you see the queen says, the queen looks over at Val and she says, escort them out now. And as he said, he just immediately says, yes, my queen. And he starts, as you all are being kind of ushered out, you can,
and while it's happening, I'm kind of looking back like, what the hell just happened?
Yeah, you can hear her. You can hear the queen just says, Mother, how dare you? How dare you? There is no way that she could be even alive. How dare you keep looking for this ghost? And you can just hear them. I mean, it's like they're very heated and angry. And yeah, it's pretty bad. Val is like walking you out, and he says, I'm very, very sorry that you had to see that. And he takes you back out into the hallway, said, I will go and calm them. Said, just wait here. All the while, you can actually hear them still going on until Val, the guards close the door, and it's a little bit more muffled.
Before he leaves, I'm going to say, Your Grace, what have we missed here? What is this relationship between Melda and your family?
Yeah, I was going to say something, but I was going to let him just go first to calm the thing.
He just says, I'm sorry, but I cannot get into it at this time.
Later then.
Yes. I'm very sorry.
Thank you, Your Grace.
Yeah. And so.
Well, what's the name of the campaign?
Maybe the campaign's apparently when Ed walks away, you guys fuck everything up. Jesus Christ, I do it all the time.
Okay, and so I think this is probably a good enough place
Either you
to
have
stop
not
for
had
the
enough
night.
beer or too much.
You know, when you name drop, it's supposed to be a good thing. Just saying.
Nah, you know what? That's a line I tread very carefully with Brian when I name drop. So I'm just gonna put that out there.
Well, and Kellex, when they first said something about your Elvis friend, that was the first thing that came to his mind. So,
Okay.
in which
Well,
I'm sorry, Brian. I want to ask you one thing. Can you do me a favor? Can I
Sure.
get like a family tree?
Of course.
Because I'm having a real hard time trying to. Fit
Oh, I'm
everybody.
sorry. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
no.
no,
I,
that's on me. Because
as a matter of fact, I probably already have one drawn up somewhere. Because this is
Oh,
actually
cool, thank you.
this is really an old adventure, and I already had like all this like. I think I think it was like 2011 is when I ran this the first time I ran this. So
wow.
yeah, and I've done it like 3 other times. So
are we the weirdest?
well, every time that I do it, things change. There's always like this underlying premise, that sticks, but you guys make it your own, which is awesome. And it always and it,
That's not a no.
no, because I don't know if I'll ever, because there may be another group down the road that makes it even stranger. But, yeah.
But not as awesome. But not as awesome. Come here.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Okay.
Hey,
So.
can you guys all do me a favor and just say hi, Tonks, real quick? Because she's bugging the crap out of me.
Aww.
Hi, Thomas. Hi, Thomas.
Say hello.
Aww.
No.
Yeah. I don't have a dog.
Pop,
I want one.
Pop's
But I don't
jealous.
have
My
one.
dog's been up at Molly.
I don't have a dog. We're not getting a dog.
They're great.
Dog?
There's pros and cons, but yeah.
One of those cats in
Yeah,
the house.
I think it's been like 30 years since the last time we had a dog. So, yeah. I mean, we have a cat, and we got like 11 chickens. So I guess that works.
I grew up in the Ozarks, and it wasn't until I joined the Army that I was without a dog. I mean, we raised blue tick hounds, red bone hounds for coon hunting.
Nice.
So
Nice.
yeah, we had dogs all the time. And now all I've got's cats roaming around. None of them mine. I don't want any of them. I don't want to pay for an animal. No.
Yeah. No, totally get it. Alrighty. So did everybody have a good time? I know there wasn't any. I know there wasn't any combat, and I'm sorry about that. This is kind of leading up to crazy stuff.
The dragon turtle?
Yeah. The dragon turtle
No,
has chased you all the way from the ocean here. Yeah.
At some point,
Dragon turtle.
Brian, at some point in my mind, what I will probably do is to jump on some AI art and maybe do some representation of the individuals. Yeah, because there are too many Elven names. That's the only thing that's throwing me off. Because I'm getting Elven person A, Elven person B. Who am I pissing off? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with pissing people off. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, no doubt of that.
Use Google's AI. That's going to be hilarious.
I'm just going to say for the record, I brokered a peace treaty between Celene and the Yeomanry.
But y'all weren't at war.
Doesn't matter.
You need to broker peace treaties when you're not at war.
Well, I brokered an alliance. So that alliance, there might come a time. There might come a time the Yeomanry needs that, and I'll be like, I got this. Brian, I'm going to call in this Parker with Val. Remember the time he promised? He promised he's going to come to my aid.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
No.
No.
You misremember that exchange.
That didn't happen.
You were
I misremember every stage.
Alrighty.
Everybody nod your head if you've been in an instance where I misremembered something with you.
I do have a hair on my ass.
Okay.
Unfortunately, you use it to floss your ball sack.
Well, we all must have our
gosh.
kink, right?
Jeez. Okay, and with that, I think we'll at least close up the stream portion of this. So thanks everybody who's watching this later. Hope you enjoyed the show. We will do this again hopefully next week, depending on if everybody stays healthy, and we have some time to do it. So what do you guys think? Next Thursday, Tuesday?
The ninth.
So,
The ninth.
so
The
good
9th?
night.
The ninth.
Oh, the night.
The
No,
9th.
the 8th. The 8th.
Yeah.
The 8th. The 8th.
To work on
A Friday. Hey, Russ.
You can come to my
uh,
calendar time.
Not on a Friday night. I can't do a Friday
Okay.
night.
Okay, let's do it the Thursday before. Because the 5th, or next Tuesday, I'm going back to get the last stint.
Oh,
Totally get it.
We're looking at the
hey,
7th.
guys.
Okay.
Here's the problem. We're putting in 24 strands of fiber. That's why I can't do the weekend. That's why I was like, oh shit, the 9th. Oh, I'm one of the few weekends that I actually do work. Besides show up and open the HR never shows up and ask me to breathalyze. So yeah, I can't do that.
Okay, so we're
So
looking
on
the 7th? 7th.
Seventh.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, so folks are watching at home, the 7th will be the next time that we meet. 7 o'clock is our normal time.
And folks
Eastern
watching
Standard
at home,
Time.
I don't drink at work.
Much.
Okay, much. or as much as he should. Okay, so
People
is that-
probably like more.
okay, so
It's
everybody's
just the toner.
okay. So everybody have a good night.
Go,
and we
Brian.
will catch you next week. Okay.
All right.
Adieu.
One of these days, we got to get it down to where it's like, good night, farewell, auf Wiedersehen, or two. Have each person do a part.
And good.
That would be cute. Yeah.
Guess what I got in the mail today?
Which, did I get a package this weekend?
Yeah, it's over there.
That's awesome.